If you do go on to enjoy today's video, do me a favour and hit that like button and of course subscribe. It really does help me out a lot. And if you want to avoid the random lottery that is FIFA points, you can go straight to the source with u7buy.com, and of course you can use the code TVM at the checkout to get yourself a discount. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to another video. Today, some more predictions, some more speculation. EA have dropped a fair few road to the final cards the last few days. You know, Diego Carlos was dropped. We had that player pick option between Celtic and Rangers, which I thought was quite interesting. Bit of a shame, really, if you just wanted both cards, but it's still cool and I like it. So I thought, let's go and have a look to see what teams have made it through that didn't have road to the final cards at the start of the competition and see what EA may potentially do. Obviously, this Friday, Team of the Year nominee cards leave packs. There's nothing then going on in terms of promo. Footmas is still on, but it's not really... It's a promo, but I think it needs like a bit of a kick up the backside, you know, and how long is it really going to go on for with Christmas Day around the corner? So we could potentially start getting road to the final cards thick and fast. Thompson of Copenhagen at first, of course. They went through in second place behind Malmo. And Thompson would be... I mean, every card have gone for 82, right? So Thompson, they might not look great, but for fans of that club, I think you'd be happy. Up next, we have Friese of Lask. Of course, they finished top of their group ahead of Sporting and PSV. Don't think many people would have predicted PSV to be dumped out as dramatically as they were. But still, with an upgrade, could go into a decent card. Wendell is already, in my opinion, a decent card for an 82. Sporting, as I just mentioned, finished second in that group, 1 point behind Lask. And already a decent card. Now, there are some teams within these predictions that will have more than one card, but then there are certain teams that will only have one because I just don't feel like EA will really indulge. Holland of Lask up next. Of course, this is the second Lask player. They finished top of the group, as I mentioned. This looks very good, actually. Very well-rounded. Good physical, good dribbling. 82 rated, potential to go into that 84, potentially even the 86 if they were to get through the next two rounds. So, yeah, not a bad card at all. Moving on to Gael Clichy, a blast from the past, normally reserved for the likes of Foot Birthday and that sort of thing, but maybe even like some sort of flashback card. But you never know, you know, he could get a Europa League live card, a road to the final card, if you will. They finished top of their group, ahead of Roma and Borussia Mönchengladbach. Kamada up next of Frankfurt, who of course finished second in their group just behind Arsenal and ahead of Standard Liège. Not a bad card, but not a great card either. Fans of the club, I'm sure, will enjoy it, but that's probably about it. Moving on to Dokovic. I didn't realise Cluj were in the game, but there we are. They are. In fact, they only finished 1 point behind Celtic and ahead, double on points, of Lazio, and of course they beat out Stade Rennais as well. So good little side there, and a decent little card for an 82. Kennedy, who remembers this guy from his Newcastle days? Of course, now at Getafe. Not the best looking player in the world, if I'm honest, in terms of stats, especially as he's a left mid. More of a CM than anything else, but even then I don't think you'd want to play him. But again, potential to be upgraded, although not the only Getafe player worth mentioning. Fry up next of Basel. Now, again, they finished... I think they finished top of their group. Yeah, they did. They finished top of their group ahead of Getafe, interestingly enough. He doesn't look like a great card, but again, fans of the club might be interested in that one. Our second Sporting player, I believe, of the day, we had Wendell. We could have Yannick Bolasie. Now, of course, playing for Sporting. I think he started life off as a left wing. I've changed him to a right wing because he's been playing there for Sporting for a fair few games. 1 point behind Lask, of course. I don't know if he's still got his 5-star skills. I would have thought so, but I haven't actually checked, so I'm not sure. But either way, I think everyone would really enjoy that. Moving on to Da Costa, of course. He had a great team of the season card last year. I don't know really if he's done that well for Frankfurt this year, but they did go through, so he has the potential to be upgraded even further. But an 83 rated card, potentially into an 85, and already pretty decent. Yes, please, I would enjoy that. Who remembers this guy from his Premier League days? Was it Huddersfield he played for? De Poitre, I don't know how to say his name. Great physicals. I think he's getting massively downgraded in terms of physicals this year, but he doesn't really have the pace. So if you're a fan of him, happy days. If not, then guess what? We can go to his teammate, Ojija Ofoy. He had a Player of the Year card. Was it FIFA 18? it was really, really good. It was a nice, cheap SBC. Of course, this card doesn't look anywhere near as good as that did, but again, with potential to grow, who knows? It doesn't look terrible with that in mind. El Hero Elia up next with his pace. Again, I don't think he has his skills anymore, does he? Maybe 4-star these days? I'm not quite sure, but either way, I remember he did at one point have 5-star skills. He may still do, but great dribbling stats, insane pace. Not an awful lot else going for him, but could be upgraded to an 85 should they go further. Rosenberg, a player that I'm sure not many of you will be familiar with, myself included, but I'm a big fan of his hair, and he's got a cheeky little smile. Kind of looks like the Grinch. So, yeah, decent shooting, nice physical. I'm sure he's a very happy man in real life. He's nothing like the Grinch. Let's move on. Adrissi of AZ. Now, this looks like a card I think we can all get behind, with potential to go to an 85 as well. He's already got the pace and the dribbling stats. We could improve that passing. The shooting could go up the physical. Could be a nice card, and a decent link into Ziyech as well for those who have that card. Vargas of Espanyol. This looks like an even better prospect with great dribbling, insane pace, decent passing. Not too bad on the old shooting as well, but again, could go up with that upgrade to an 85. And I appreciate that a lot of these cards won't appeal to the masses, and they are more geared towards fans of clubs and maybe players who you're trying to squeeze into your team and you need a semi-usable card, and all of a sudden you've got a, like I said earlier, a Moroccan from the Dutch league to link in your Ziyech. Then these cards become a little bit more useful. Esteban Granero up next of Espanyol, and again they've gone through. I think this is the second player that I've shown you from Espanyol. He used to be a decent card. Did he used to play for QPR back in the day? I think I remember that. Yeah, he looks like he doesn't look like a great card because of his pace. It really lets him down. But I think if you just let him sit there in the middle, there is potential for him to do something. And of course, he'd be okay for a few links if you needed that. Paulinho of Braga up next. He's not the only Braga player that I have, but good physical, good shooting, not great on the old pace or even the passing, and the dribbling needs work. But again, they have potential to go up, and a big upgrade from an 84 to an 86 on the cards, as is the same with his teammate Horta. Now, this, in my opinion, looks like a much better prospect, and I would much prefer to have this, but there won't be too many strikers, I'm sure. But very good dribbling and passing with decent pace and shooting, with the potential to go up to that 86 and improve that even further. I think EA may opt for the more central midfield type player than they will the striker when it comes to Braga, because the card does look very, very good. Now, I will 100% mispronounce this, but Gene of Getafe, again, not the only Getafe player to be mentioned. Of course, Kennedy was mentioned earlier. 85 rated gives us our highest rated Europa League or Road to the Final card, but, of course, he only goes up to an 86 because past 84 they only got by 1. So they go from 84 to 86, and then when they are 85, they go to 86 as well. So, you know, it might be 84, it might be 85, it doesn't really matter because the upgrade he gets will go to an 86. But still, it looks like a decent card, and as height doesn't really matter too much this year, you are going to be seeing a lot more defenders as we go on, such as Cannavaro and even more, you know, icon-style cards that don't have great height that will actually be quite useful now. And this is no different. Moving on to our final three, and cards that are from teams that already have Road to the Final cards, but EA might decide just to throw a couple more out because they are from quote-unquote desirable teams and will end up either selling packs or the SBC or whatever it might be. Now, Arnold of Wolfsburg played very well yesterday, by the way, without even scoring a goal or getting an assist. He still played rather well, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him in Road to the Final form. I don't know if it's a good card or not. Fans of the club would prefer it more, but again, we'll go to an 85 should he get himself an upgrade. And is it Andreas Pereira of Manchester United getting some regular football this year? Looks like an okay card, of course, a central card as well. We used to see in sort of right-wing versions of this guy in previous FIFAs, but a central version of Pereira could be good. And again, Manchester United will probably go past the next round and maybe even further again. So he'll go to an 84, potentially to an 86. That's the one you want. I don't think you want the 83s. I think you want the 82s because they've got potential to go even further. And finally, an Arsenal player, even though we have Torreira, and again, he's a central midfield player, I've gone with Ceballos, or Ceballos, or Stebalos, or however you want to say his name. I've gone with him because he started life at Arsenal rather well, and I thought, you know what, this guy is going to go on to be very, very good for them because he's got very quick feet, he's very intelligent, but for whatever reason, Arsenal have not been clicking, and I just feel like maybe they could do with a kick up the backside in terms of Ceballos. So I don't really see him getting many informs, but we could, as a team, progress and then maybe go up to an 86. It's not a bad card either, and I would actually quite like to see it. But that's going to do it for today's video. I don't know how many people are going to be interested in this, because there are a lot of clubs and players in there that aren't necessarily that great, and EA might decide to go just crazy on it really and boost players up to usability levels like they have done really with Forest and Kent. I've tried to do that in places, but I didn't want to be too unrealistic, so hopefully I've got the balance just right. But if you have enjoyed this and you want to see more of this type of thing, then do me a favour and hit that like button. It really does help me out a lot. Subscribe to the channel if you're here, of course, and until the next time, goodbye.
Football Index, the game changed. Download the app now.